Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Yes, you guessed it. Today I'm bringing you more VA nuggets. The topic of discussion, favorable findings. What is it? How does it look in a rating decision? And how you can use it to your advantage. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, everyone, today's topic, favorable findings. The number one thing that gets veterans into trouble with favorable findings is they haven't taken the time to look it up and understand what it is. It does not mean you should have been automatically service connected because they put favorable findings in your rating decision. Now, if some development or something else was wrong, or maybe a CUE, then that's different. But just because they list favorable findings in your rating decision does not mean automatic service connection. I think they should take out because it is confusing veterans, or change the verbiage. But today's video, I'm going to share with you VA's definition, what it is, where you can go and find it in the rating decision, and also I'm going to explain how you can use it to your advantage. Okay, that is going to be key. Now, you know I got some slides. I love sharing slides with you. And the main reason I show these slides is because I done went and did some research. We all know the M21 manual reference in the 38 CFR, it changes from time to time, okay? But when I'm explaining something, I like for it to be visual for you. That way, it could definitely sink in and help you be better educated. So let's go ahead and get into it. Slide number one. Here in slide number one, 38 CFR 3.104, binding nature of decisions. Now, down below, what do we have? Favorable findings. Any findings favorable to the claimant made by either a VA adjudicator as described, and that's another 38 CFR, or by the Board of Veterans Appeals as described, got another regulation there, is binding on all subsequent agency of original jurisdiction and Board of Veterans Appeals adjudicators, unless rebutted by evidence that identifies a clear and unmistakable error in the favorable findings. Now, I'm not going to get into clear and unmistakable errors. I have a video on my YouTube channel where I discuss that. It's a couple of years old, but it is still pertinent information. So just go to my channel, do a search, keyword search, and it'll come up. Type in CUE, Charlie Uniform Echo, okay? Then it goes on to say, for purposes for this section, a finding means a finding, favorable finding, means a conclusion, either on a question of fact or an application of law to facts made by an adjudicator concerning the issue under review. Now, nowhere in that paragraph it states, oh, if you put favorable findings, you must service connect the veteran, okay? It doesn't say that anywhere. So veterans, stop thinking that, okay? Move right along, slide number two. Here we have a couple M21 manual references. The first one, the definition, favorable findings as stated in 38 CFR 3.104 subpart C. I just showed that to you. A favorable finding means a conclusion either on a question of fact or an application of law to facts made by the adjudicator concerning the issue under review. Now, that was the last sentence in the 38 CFR. Now, you may be asking yourself, Dwayne, well, why did you show us the M21 manual reference? I always go to the M21 manual reference first, even though it is just a reference. You can do a keyword search in the M21 manual reference, okay? And guess what else? I have a video on my YouTube channel showing you how to do a keyword search, because as soon as I looked this up, guess what I saw? What I have underlined, 38 CFR. Now, if I went to the 38 CFR, it'll took me some time to find that. Okay, it could have, I don't know. But in the M21 manual reference, a matter of seconds. Now, there was a gentleman at the regional office that I worked at. I don't know if he's still there. He worked in quality. I think he was on a quality review team or a training team. I just call him T. I don't want to say his name, but if you work at the St. Petersburg regional office and you know a gentleman is kind of not short, really soft-spoken, first name starts with a T, awesome. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot. And one of the things that I remember him teaching us, it is how to do this keyword search that I showed you in that video that I did, okay? So every 2 years I had to take a test, 300-word test, and they trained us not to memorize these regulations, but where to go and find them. And he was instrumental in training me and teaching me and educating me on how to do keyword searches in M21. Man, if you ever see this video, thank you. Now, moving right along. Second M21 manual reference, requirement to notify claimant of favorable findings. So they have to notify you, right? Each notice of a decision affecting benefits must address any findings made by the adjudicator that are favorable to the client. This requirement applies to decision notices issued on or after February 19th, 2019. Now, adjudicator that are favorable to the claimant does not mean automatic service connection. But like I said, toward the end of this video, I'm going to share with you how you can use this in your favor. Now, it says on or after February 19, 2019. So if you have a rating decision before that date, you will not have a favorable finding in your rating decision. So if you say, Dwayne, I had a rating decision dated February 10th, 2010. I don't see the favorable findings. You know what I'm going to say? You didn't watch the entire video, because I'm telling you right now, you will not have it in that rating decision. Let's keep going. Slide number 3. Now, this is another M21 manual reference, and it states addressing favorable findings in the rating narrative. Now, I've only seen favorable findings in rating decisions denying the benefit. So it says denying the claim, adding and saving individual entries for each finding that was favorable to the claimant, if any, using the favorable findings screen under VBMSR. Now, VBMSR is the program raters use to build the rating decision, okay? Now, above that, it says awarding the claim. I've never seen favorable findings listed as favorable findings in a grant. Now, if you have a rating decision and it's a grant and they have favorable findings, let me know. I'm curious, okay? So let's keep going. Slide number 4. Here in slide number 4, this is just an example I put together. It's just an example. How favorable findings look in a rating decision. So normally it's in the narrative for the decision that they denied at the bottom, okay? And the first one is a denial for secondary service connection. It states favorable findings identified in this decision. You have been diagnosed with a disability. Keep that in mind. Third-party contractor's name goes there. Contract exam of January 15, 2024 indicated a diagnosis of low back strain. The primary claim disability, the claim primary disability is service-connected. Veteran service-connected for flat feet. So in this case, veteran claim low back strain, secondary to flat feet. They're letting you know you do have a diagnosis of low back strain, hint, and your primary disability that you claim secondary to is flat feet, okay? The next one, claimed direct service connection, meaning the veteran claimed it as direct service connection. And it states favorable findings identified in this decision. You have been diagnosed with a disability, hint, hint, hypertension, diagnosis on exam dated August 10th, 2023. Okay, so before I tell you how you can use this to your advantage, again, the 38 CFR and those 3 M21 manual references, none of them stated, oh, if you add favorable findings in the rating decision, you have to grant. So veterans, stop thinking just because they're favorable findings, oh, Dwayne, they denied me, but they gave me favorable findings. That doesn't mean automatic service connection. Now, how can you use this into your advantage? Now, that last slide, you heard me throwing some hints. I was dropping some nuggets there. Okay, now I'm gonna let you pick them up. They gave you a diagnosis. What is the 3 elements in direct service connection, and what is one of the elements for secondary service connection? You have to have a disability or diagnosis. I'll say that again. You have to have a diagnosis for direct and a disability or diagnosis for secondary condition. So let's just take direct service connection. 3 elements: current diagnosis, link in service, and nexus. They just gave you a diagnosis. You can always come back in and submit a supplemental claim if they deny it, right? So let's just say they deny it without giving you a C&P exam, saying you don't have any diagnosis. No, 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 no. They just gave you one. So you file an 0996 for a high-level review. Hey, I'm disagreeing with this rating decision. I was not awarded a C&P exam. I claimed hypertension. That's what I showed in that example. On direct service connection, the current rating decision denied me, stated that I did not have a current diagnosis. But the previous rating decision in the favorable findings section stated I had a diagnosis. I've submitted new and relevant evidence. Please schedule me for a C&P exam. Boom, big nugget. Okay, so go back and watch this again. So it's the little things that I'm showing you and educating you on, but this is just one way that you can use these favorable findings to your advantage. But a lot of veterans are just stuck on, oh, I should have been service connected. No. Okay? Don't leave that alone. Don't think about that. Just stop. Time out. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? So, again, go back and watch this video again, but do not make the grave mistake thinking because there's favorable findings, you should have been automatically service connected. It does not work that way. And if you feel, or you fall in the situation that I just given you, now you know how to use it to your advantage if you want to do a high-level review. Okay? So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, do not forget to share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.